You watered every day. The hose ran, the meter spun, and your fall greens still flopped the first windy afternoon. Here's why. Daily watering creates shallow roots and wasted moisture, starving fall greens when heat or wind hits. The problem isn't you, it's the system you were taught. I want you to switch to the Rain Pulse Plus leaf mulch system. It uses weather and biology, not habit and timers. It cuts your watering in half and doubles your fall greens in zones 7 to 10. Why this matters in numbers.
1 inch of rain on a 4x8 bed is about 20 gallons. If your soil actually holds it, that's a full recharge. With 3 to 4 inches of leaf mulch, you cut evaporation by roughly 50 to 70% in warm fall weather. That's moisture staying in your root zone instead of vanishing by noon. A shallow 0.5-inch basin across that bed grabs another 10 gallons you'd otherwise lose to runoff. With the mulch cap in place, most beds in zones 7 to 10 only need irrigation every 7 to 14 days in fall. And leaf mulch greens often yield 1.5 to 2 times more than bare, daily watered beds. Let's fix the root of the problem and let the weather work for you. The system. 1. Rain pulse timing. Stop the daily sips. Irrigate only after a rain or a true dry down. Sync to storms. You're stacking your water with nature's pulse, not fighting it.
When a real rain drops 20 gallons on a 4x8, you want that to soak deep. If you keep topping the surface every day, roots never chase that deeper moisture. When you wait for the soil to dry an inch down before the next deep soak, roots follow the gradient and anchor deeper. Leaf mulch cap. Thin mulch or bare soil leaks water. Cap the bed with 3 to 4 inches of shredded leaves. After each pulse, re-wet the mulch so it bonds and wicks evenly. That cap slows evaporation by 50 to 70. 3. Bed basins. Flat beds shed rain. Shape shallow basins from 1 to 2 inches deep with light berms at the edges. Make the bed itself the bowl. In a storm, that basin holds the pulse and pushes it down. Hold just a ½ inch across a 4x8 and you bank roughly 10 gallons. That's free irrigation captured and kept where roots can find it. 4. Dense-Sow Canopy. Sparse rows leave soil exposed. Oversow your greens, then thin to 4 to 6 inches between plants once they take. Let the canopy close. Leaf cover cools the soil, slows wind at the surface, and shades out evaporation. Your water serves leaves, not sky. Plants grow into their own shade umbrella, and the bed loses less moisture every day. 5. Moisture check. Forget timers and guesswork. Use the knuckle test. Push a finger in. If it's dry an inch down, water. If not, wait. This prevents overwatering and forces roots to find what they need deeper. It's simple, repeatable, and it lines up with biology better than a clock ever will. Why it works. The biology logic. Plants follow water. Daily sips keep moisture in the top ½ inch. Roots stop there because they don't need to go further. Then one hot, windy afternoon hits, and that thin layer flashes dry. Your greens wilt. Not because you missed a day, but because you trained them to sit on the surface.
Rain comes in pulses, not drips. When you align irrigation with storms or authentic dry downs, you're giving the soil time to take in a full drink. Water moves down. Roots chase it down. Deeper roots sit in cooler, steadier moisture, which is exactly what fall greens want when temperatures swing. The leaf mulch cap is physics and biology. It reduces the energy hitting the soil, so less water evaporates. It breaks the wind boundary right at the surface. It feeds microbes that turn leaves into stable organic matter. That humus holds water like a sponge. More humus equals more storage per storm or irrigation. Now that 20 gallons from an inch of rain isn't just wetting the top, it's charging your whole bed.
Basins keep pulses on your site. Sheet flow off a flatbed is lost. A 2 to 1 inch basin slows it, spreads it, and sends it down. Even a modest ½ inch of held water is another 10 gallons banked, which is a full drink for tender transplants or a buffer on a windy week. The Dense-Sow Canopy closes the lid from above. Leaves shade the soil, cool the root zone, and slow the wind. You lose less water to the air, so the same rain pulse lasts longer. You get more foliage with the same water. The knuckle test forces you to react to soil, not habit. It prevents the most common failure, watering when the top looks dry but the root zone is still fine. That wastes water and suffocates roots. Waiting until it's dry 1 inch down tells the plant, reach. Then, when you water, it's a real drink. The loop, how it keeps working over time. Here's the self-reinforcing loop you trigger. Mulch builds humus and increases infiltration. Each storm then recharges deeper. Because more water is stored, your watering frequency falls. Deeper roots handle gaps between pulses and put out larger leaves. As the canopy closes, it shades soil and cuts evaporation even more. Fewer irrigations mean fewer flushes of wheat seeds. With less competition, your greens keep more moisture and nutrients, and yields jump. That's why leaf mulch screens often produce 1.5 to 2 times more than bare daily watered beds. You're not pushing harder, you're removing the leaks and letting biology compound. Numbers in action. Picture a 4x8 bed before and after. Before, flat, bare, daily sips. A storm drops 1 inch, 20 gallons, but half runs off and half evaporates within days. Roots sit shallow. You irrigate every couple of days, and weeds love you for it.
After, shallow basin, 3 to 4 inch leaf cap, dense canopy. The same storm drops 20 gallons. The basin grabs another 10 gallons of sheet flow. Mulch reduces evaporation by 50 to 70%. Now most of that pulse stays in the root zone. In zones 7 to 10 fall, you top up every 7 to 14 days, not daily. Plants sit in steadier moisture, so they put on bigger leaves faster. Climate notes. Zones 7 to 10. Expect a 7 to 14 day rhythm once mulch is down and the canopy forms. Windy weeks may shorten that. Calm, cool weeks will stretch it. Cooler than zone 7. Evaporation is lower. Pulses last longer. You may push beyond 14 days between irrigations.
Hotter, drier than 10. Pulses shrink faster. You may be closer to 4 to 7 days early on. As mulch and humus build, intervals lengthen. The system doesn't depend on a calendar. It follows weather and soil reality. That's why it's reliable. Start this week. Simple steps. Turn off the daily timer. Commit to pulse watering only after rain or a true dry down. Shape basins. Pull soil from the path edge to make a light berm around each 4x8. Aim for a 1 to 2 inch bowl across the bed. Lay the leaf cap. Shred leaves if you can. Spread 3 to 4 inches evenly. Water once to settle and bond the mulch to the soil.
Oversow, then thin. Sow your fall greens heavier than usual. As they size up, thin to 4 to 6 inches apart. Let the canopy close. Use the knuckle test. Check before you water. If it's dry 1 inch down, give a deep pulse. If not, wait. After each rain or irrigation, re-wet the mulch surface lightly so it wicks and seals. Keep the cap intact. Track your interval. In zones 7 to 10, expect to land around 7 to 14 days with mulch. If you're outside that range, add leaves or deepen the basin slightly. Do this, and you'll spend less time dragging hoses and more time harvesting leaves that actually size up. Water with weather, not habit. Leaf cap the soil, deep roots, double greens.